Mariah Carey has been frozen for Christmas in July.
Oh,
I love Christmas in July.
I am curious, Miles, because you didn't end up voting in the poll.
Oh,
Are you more team reveal the poll at the beginning or reveal the poll at the end?
End. For sure, end. I want to build up the drama.
Okay, we'll leave that till the end then. Next question, because we haven't got any proof. Can anyone hear us? Or is everyone watching the football? It's England v Ghana.
It's England versus Ghana.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which means in this situation, you get to be Ghana for today.
I'll probably be Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, I have not been watching, although I'm weirdly finding a admiration for Erling Haaland more than I ever had before. I think the Man City of it kind of prevented that from happening, but now that I see him in a different light, I'm very much enjoying him doing well. And I want Norway to win. And it's also Martin Odegaard too. And I know you have no idea what's going on.
I feel like I'm so dehydrated why it stopped meaning.
I'm also rooting for Cavalierci.
And I'm gonna turn my fan onto medium so I can hear all your beautiful syllables.
Yes. All those folks who are in Britain or at least in Western Europe, including you, Jake, I hope you are dealing with the heat as well as you can. Drink plenty of water, be safe.
Okay. I heard that Iran outmugged every other team when they arrived. But I feel like they just look like basic men.
Just basic Persian men?
Like, in the way that, like, your average, like, basic gay will, like, see a man with a beard, be like, oh my God, I love her. It's the peak of, like, this kind of, like, we've shifted away from, like, maybe having the most obviously white European features be considered the best. And so instead, it's like, you know how, like, a lot of these, like, cosmetic surgery procedures are meaning that people look slightly more ethnically ambiguous. I feel like it was sort of this.
I hear what you're saying. I also, just the word Mog just makes me think about human. I don't want to name that, but he was in Paris doing shenanigans, and it was bizarre and cringy as one could expect. But I can't call this person out, but we all know who I'm talking about, especially when the word Mog is brought up. But long story short, should we get started? I know we have a poll to reveal at the end.
I need to open the correct documento.
Documento.
As they say in Spain.
In Spain. Oh, okay. This was gonna go ahead. My yes. Which Caleb's question brings me, or comment brings me into my question I have wanted to ask you. Who is Andy Burnham? Who is this man?
Okay, so he was mayor of Manchester.
Okay.
I feel like it would be very hard to do both.
Because ironically enough, I saw a video of someone who was not him, and I genuinely thought it was him. And I watched a whole entire like sketch comedy video thinking it was him actually presenting something. That was very funny.
Oh, okay. He stopped being mayor of Greater Manchester at some point this year. Okay. So the incumbent one Okay, this is all very new. I don't know everyone's names.
I'm trying to keep up too.
Okay, so
I just enjoy Starmer Northern.
yeah, it's not anything new.
Okay, great.
Like there's a creator called Zoe Bread who lives in Manchester, who has proven
I know Zoe Bread. I've heard of this woman.
Mm-hmm. Like Zoe Bread has proven that like this is nothing like revolutionary coming. Like Manchester Council, like the Manchester hasn't been like Manchester itself is sort of a success story if you see success as like huge regeneration. But the regeneration is sort of like contested, I would say. I mean, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like I don't necessarily have my talking points planned properly. But yeah, I think it's basically a continuity candidate. He's like marginally more likable. Like if Starmer really wanted to be liked, he could have used the fact that he's like a human rights lawyer that he never did.
Well,
like, and yeah, I was gonna say it's basically that Manchester's been hugely gentrified, so it's kind of that politics. Yeah.
Okay. Well, shall we get to calling?
Yeah, rather than me feeling put on the spot about my political analysis.
No, don't worry. I can convey my disdain with what's going on in the Quebec leadership, not leadership, but provincial election about some people saying some really dumb shit about high-speed rails. I don't understand. It's very frustrating to me.
Not all of us are trained pilots. I don't know why, but okay. So I actually have no clue what we did last time other than make the name. Was it just that we made the name?
I think so, and then I think we like yeah, I think that's all we did and made sure everything was kind of like organized. I think half of where I wanted to go was at least get some examples of tense marking and also actually start our conversation about possession and what that's going to look like.
Where am I going with this? I feel like the putting off examples isn't great. I also feel like it's not the thing to do when you've got your full, let's call it 80 minutes left. You know?
That's fair.
I feel like we should start with the possessive classifiers. Because otherwise
that is where I was leaning.
And also because I know that we're going to argue about them and that's going to be exciting.
Which, okay, I don't think the argument is going to be that like deep. I do think there shouldn't be a large amount of them. I do think that.
No, but what do you consider a large amount?
Yeah, exactly.
Because then I'm like, oh, so there won't be 100 possessive classifiers.
Yeah.
But only 100 different ways you could own something.
I think at least like this set should be fewer than the ones we currently have. Unless, okay, hold on. I think my understanding is that the classifier is not going to dictate like what type of the noun is, but more so what the relationship between the two elements are. Does that make sense?
I think it's like, I want to say halfway there.
Okay. Where is that Portuguese text with the classifiers? Here. I found it.
I'm sharing my screen, so if you find it, I'll jump to you.
Okay, I am here.
So yeah, they have the whole section about food.
Correct.
And then everything else is in one of these 5 options.
Okay.
Right?
Correct. Which I think when it comes to the food, I think that's, if we're going to like use a similar example, I'm not saying we are, but like I do think food is important. I do think like if, especially since there's like pets, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So like versus like whatever is going to be like an edible like meat / animal or something like this. But like that's to say that that's encoding the relationship between the possessor and what is possessed. It's not like man head dog for like for example for the man's dog versus like man pet dog.
I mean, this is also where like classifiers. This is one of those things where it's. I think when we think about them, it's usually like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I think of like the way that no works in Japanese, right? The genitive compared to how classifiers work. So like if I say like 私の犬 my dog, like this phrase is essentially stuck in that order.
Correct.
So like you can't say like inu watashi no, you can't say watashi inu. Well, no, you can say watashi inu because you can effectively in casual speech jump over it. But that's because the order becomes the thing that marks the modified relationship. However, if you're saying like inu ippiki, like so this is like one dog, you can't then change things around so much. But you can, well, no, you could say like inu wa ippiki arimasu. And essentially like the relationship between the classified number and the classified thing is indicated through the information of the on the classifier that this is what it's referring to, more or less. I don't know if this is a useful distinction to be trying to make right now, but a classifier is essentially flagged for some sort of information that is determined by the head noun, is how I understand it. And so the
Mm-hmm.
The classifier itself isn't empty, or that you can use them without the full phrase, and the gaps can be important and everything else, just like other parts of speech. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, so
I think to kind of map what you're saying onto what we should do, or like what you maybe like are saying, is that like with at least with the Japanese number classifiers, that like is like pretty like stuck in its place, versus like with like no, it can at least be gapped. And what you're saying is kind of like make it more. I want to put words in my mouth. I'm trying to think not to, but like.
But you can do this. So
Yeah.
if someone asks you how many dogs are there, you can say there's one.
And that's
yeah.
So like we're able to somehow, some way, like if someone asks like, okay, like whose dog is that? Like,
I mean, but you then, I guess there's this question of effectively with this is like a singular.
mm-hmm.
These are effectively singular.
Correct.
Or simply non-count. And these become demonstrative forms, right?
Correct.
Where these are essentially the heads of small phrases that
Mm-hmm.
it's a kind of what would you call it?
Like you're like condensed phrases.
Yeah, I think that's a decent way of thinking about it. You like there is an inherent head in these pronominal forms.
Yes.
That's what these are. These are the pronouns.
Correct.
I guess the question then becomes these aren't classifiers at this point, I guess. The classifier was the origin. And so it's how do we understand the word class difference also, such that like because if it was a modifier,
yeah,
then you would always follow the noun.
And Madeline, no, we have not released the poll results yet.
If it were a head plus an affix, then it would precede noun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of the things was that we've tried to address this a couple of times on stream, and I feel like we often end up returning to the question of what exactly do we want their function to be, and then once we've decided the function, we'll decide what the source is. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a sort of chicken and egg thing happening here, where we need to sort of figure out like what exactly like first of all, what's the bounds of these classifiers? Because I get the impression that you're not going to use them for everything.
No. Like I think these are going to be, these ones are going to be rather specialized, I could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to think how to articulate my thought. Nominal and pronominal possession are going to behave differently. And I think we should focus a little bit on nominal possession and then see what's up. Because at least that one's going to be at least something, noun, something, something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So, by nominal possession as opposed to what?
Pronominal possession.
Mm-hmm. This is just me doing me. I feel like I think it's unlikely. No, we're basically not going to get. We're not having some kind of morphology of that. So,
well, I guess so.
If the aim is for us to do it analytically,
correct.
Then,
like I think the only morphology that like would be present is one of them would be in the oblique case, and that's probably it.
mm-hmm.
And in terms of like bound morphology, I should say. Okay.
Do you mean as opposed to clitter?
More so like done analytically. Like having it be a free morpheme rather than yeah. I'm sorry I said the word morpheme. I'm sorry. Apologize. I haven't said at least like the S word yet. That's fantastic.
It's fine. As long as you don't say schwa, we'll survive.
That was the S word in question.
I know.
Okay.
I'm allowed to say it because I say schwa is my normal. It's my instinctual response. Oh, Maddie, look.
It's Taito. Oh no. And Madeline, I hope your migraine is doing a little bit better after that as well. I'm sure that is not the greatest under those conditions. Okay. So, I think
so
go ahead.
I think that we should start with an example because I think as soon as we start working with something concrete, it will all get a lot easier.
Look at beautiful document.
So I don't think I want a separate class of. I understand that the food ones don't necessarily have to be food. Like the distinction between wild animals and domesticated animals is interesting.
I think
I don't think it's culturally relevant here. I guess that's the other thing is like there's what are the culturally salient like possessive relationships and what sort of things are the targets of these, because I feel like having something that is like acquired from I'm going to go with abroad versus like
natively developed. Yeah.
And I feel like but there must be more than that.
I mean, those would be probably the two ends of the spectrum. I guess like let's kind of think about like the concrete stuff. So I know that we like I hate using a person, but we have to use the person because it's the only thing that makes sense ish. So like the person's hold on. I think in terms of culturally salient relationships, I like the idea of like the animal that I own to like raise and like keep and like care for versus the animal I own to like slaughter. In that same vein, I like the idea of plants that I can grow and eat that are edible and plants that are of no use in that regard, i.e., like trees ish.
I guess there's the question of if the tree isn't if the tree isn't useful, why does it matter who owns it?
Fair enough.
Like, this is like, I feel like part of this is that, like, I think the acquisition side, I'm not interested in a separate thing for transportable goods.
I'm also not interested.
But this one is just and it probably is going to be super useful, which does make me wonder whether we do want some sort of very short. Well, I mean, I don't imagine that our ones are going to end up as long as Boronunu.
I also don't, but also here is where I'm thinking too, is that like we do have like a general like alienable bullshit one. Like I like it's mine, dude. Like take it away from me, I do not care. Versus kind of like these more kind of like grainier, like inalienable ones. I think maybe that's a little bit too reductive of what's happening with the goods, but like I do think you're right, and something that like is very small and I don't think meaningless, but that like is very phonologically weak, kind of like being the more common one, or kind of being a more general.
I don't have a perfect memory of the paper that this is from, but what I will say,
yes,
is that there's nothing here that is to do with kinship.
That is correct.
Or there's nothing here that you would use with your organs or your house necessarily. Like maybe you like took your house in spoils of war, or you traded for your house, but like I there's also, I'm trying to remember what I'm thinking of exactly, because I think that when we did it in Yatlao, we had one that was marked and one that was unmarked, and then when I looked up how the order would be later on, it was something like if one is unmarked and one is marked, it was the opposite to whatever we did. I think we had we marked the alienable genitive.
Correct. Yeah.
Which I don't know. I feel like the sense that it's an inherent quality of being mine means that you shouldn't have to mark my sister as much as my, I don't know, hairbrush. But yeah, as I said, we're a third of the way through, still not very far. Okay. I feel like these are like from, like, if we say like from foreign
influence
trader versus acquired from local trader, and then we could have one that is like by oneself.
Yeah. I completely misunderstood what those bullet points were for some reason. I thought you were kind of like debating what would the source of these come from. So I'm glad that
No.
yes, I'm glad we rephrased them. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, cool.
So like, do you like the found by happenstance one?
I don't not. I think it's cute. I do like something that is found, albeit I don't think it has to be by happenstance.
No, but that's the implication, isn't it?
Yeah. I love that. That's adorable.
Like, rather than
like, I feel like create or make. Yeah, grown.
Yeah. Found. We've got 2 traded.
Mm-hmm.
The given by foresters, I think, is like not very important necessarily. I think that's kind of the foreign versus local thing we've got going on.
Yeah, I think that one makes more salience in Amazonia than here.
Mm-hmm.
But who am I?
Then I think like that is also like the whole spoils of war thing. Like
acquired
if you
through a pillage?
What?
Like acquired through like a pillaging or a raid?
Yeah, that's what, because it's what they do culturally.
Well, speaking of people who do like pillaging and raiding culturally, that might be helpful.
We didn't give people the option of doing it right bang in the middle of
That's true. Anyway, but I guess like how, I mean, I don't know how militant these people are. I think if they're trading, they're not going to really be doing a lot of pillaging and raiding to like foster distrust in the community.
I need to ask, what was the cereal incident?
Was it a serious?
I realized that it's like. Now I'm wondering if Maddie meant to write serious incident, or what exactly.
I don't know. I do imagine it involved a child and a bowl of cereal and a kitchen counter and a floor or a table.
I feel like found by happenstance, it could also be like, if we remove the happenstance, it could also include like foraging, maybe.
Yeah, like forage, like things that were searched for.
I'd also say with like the interesting distinctions. I also feel like when you look at these, I feel like maybe some of them you could guess what a head noun would be for them.
Yeah, that is very true.
Compared with like, if we look at the sort of things that we've had as classifiers, then what do we think that the equivalent would be here? Because I also think that if we cycle a little bit between them, we'll figure out if there's something obvious that we're overlooking or whatever. Because like a lot of these are like, whether it's solid or liquid. I think that's the one in Fijian is like, my water is different from my coconut or whatever, if I'm remembering right.
I don't know. I'm on this website where they're talking about like classifier usage, but it's not really in as much detail as I would like. But I think if we're trying to like map, I don't think like overlap somehow, some way these little guys onto here. I can imagine like, oh, that's what it was. I did see something in that little article I was reading that there was just this like general possessive classifier where it's like it doesn't encode like the relationship, but kind of like it just had like a general kind of like we have this for a miscellaneous reason. It's nothing like really that's like too bound. Yeah. To point out what Bib was, it was like a comparison between like a tomato you could eat, a tomato you had grown, and then a tomato you're going to use for whatever purposes, like maybe like for throwing.
I know how I should interpret this. I also imagine the it referring to both the child and also to the cereal.
I think I will say it is for that. It is cereal in milk. I think like a toddler eating Cheerios is adorable. Have I had a toddler? No. Have I ever fed a toddler Cheerios? No. But have I seen them eat with like and trying to get in their mouth? It's very funny. I think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You have written something down.
Yeah. Do you like the idea?
So, could you just explain it in longer terms? Because I think what you're saying is that like these kind of come from maybe like the non-count classifiers plus a verb, and then that gets reduced into these sort of like relational or possessive classifiers.
I feel like I lost track halfway through that. I feel like I tell you that more and more as we go through this.
So these classifier verb pairs, it is the non-count classifiers plus a given verb to like that gets smushed down together into like its own singular classifier for this purpose.
I'm going to repeat this back to you. So I feel like, because I think calling them non-count classifiers
that's what I thought you were calling them. So
it's what I was calling them.
I thought, well, you had used that term. I guess the singular classifiers you had it at the beginning. But no. I'm meaning.
I regret using the term at the beginning.
That's okay. I'm meaning the ones that are directly above the possession section.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
because what I mean is the non-plural.
Yes, that is what I mean as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be interesting to look at both the lists and work out what makes sense as things of possession.
Yes, because shocker, you can own more than one of something. You go to 5 or 6 stores, but you can only go to one.
But also, like, if this was like basket place or something like that, right? Where like this is my basket placed mint, and it means the mint that I foraged versus the mint that I grew at home.
Like dirt pole, for example, for being kind of like very general swath here.
Well, I know our powder is from ash.
Yes.
But I'm the thing is, I'm trying to imagine a dirt of something, and I don't think it works because it's not a count noun.
Yes, it is not, which is why.
But maybe like plot.
Yeah, we have the plural one, patch.
I thought that patch was referring to the. I mean, I know patch in English is very semantically broad, and I wasn't sure how semantically broad our word in this language was, because we count low-lying vegetation in it. And so in my head, it was more of an organic
Like a clearing
structure than like a plot in a. Like, I don't associate the patches with possession necessarily, but I'm willing to revisit it.
I think distinctly how we're defining it, a low-lying area of vegetation. I don't think that applies here because usually plants grow tall if you want to eat them. I think. I mean, do kohlrabis grow tall?
Kohlrabi is a root veg. They're sort of in the ground.
I don't have a word for to pull yet.
So if we go to number, is number in the other side?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is that if we're saying that it's like a plot pull, I think that you could obviously, if it's semantically bleached enough, it could apply also to animals. It does make me wonder whether we have like a plant class versus an animal class, although that goes against what the Amazonian ones do.
I mean, there is a difference between them in our classifiers, but again, that's not to say we have to make a distinction for this new set.
And also, we don't have basket in our number classifiers. Do we have it in?
I don't think we have it at all.
Okay.
Which I think is for the better. Unless it's going to be a plate.
I don't think it should be plate or cup.
Okay.
So I think that we make a word for basket. And I think plot works as well.
I think plot works as well. I'm going to, I think.
And I also, if we use take rather than pull, I think it works well for all of these.
Yes, and this is my next question, because what I was going to suggest is exactly that is like, how are these two going to be distinguished? Because if it could be the same like classifier and then the verb is different as you have here, versus like it could still be that take and then that head classifier would change too. But I think the verbal change makes more sense, or I think to me it's more intuitive because of kind of like you're receiving it from a somewhat trusted individual versus like one who's coming off the boat, maybe you don't know what these goods are. You're kind of just seeing it for the first time, versus like you seeing like your neighbor's like plot of kohlrabis.
That's true. This could also be plot. If you plot by it, it's like you're buying it from your neighbor. Whereas if you're and I'm like basket buy.
No, I was going to say I kind of like, even if we say like basket, does basket take make sense? Not really, because you're putting it in the basket. But I do like this basket like symmetry.
Mm-hmm. I will say it makes me want to consider whether we put plot and basket also into the other ones. Like
Yeah.
I think like it's a bit redundant having basket in the demonstratives because we already have the bowl / cup. But I think that plot would make sense.
I think plot makes sense.
Especially because none of these are super locative, are they?
No.
So I think that having plot in here I think that we should put the sources back on this side as well.
Okay. I'll find the sources. I think they're in the other tab.
They are.
No. Cool.
And then if we go back to number. Oh.
There we go. Boop, boop.
See, the number ones don't have any suffixes or anything. So you would basically, we have this small amount, large amount. I guess a basket is essentially a defined tradable amount.
Yes, we could also. I mean, I was going to say maybe we could do it as tool, and kind of like have like a tool classifier if we're having like a locative argument. Also, RNI Petrichor, just to clarify, I think they're abbreviating your name, R Knight Petrichor, as RNP.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think like a basket of? I mean, I agree. Like the semantics of it makes complete sense for it to like be in the number classifiers. But
I don't know if I've told you this before, but when you do Cantonese on Duolingo from Mandarin, the first thing they teach you is how to order dim sum. And so I've spent lots of time talking about basket classifier because you order dim sum in baskets.
hell yes.
In my head,
Oh,
I'm like, how does anyone survive without a basket classifier?
That warms my heart. Also, Z's Queer, welcome. I don't think I've seen that name before, so I'm glad you have joined.
So we have I, U, A, O, U, O, O. We're definitely not doing O.
No. All right, Petrichor, are you a part? I don't know if is that the right term, but are you affected by the Western European heat wave? Oh, where did you go? Haha. What are the protoforms of these? I don't think they're too far.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to make a form for this one.
Oh, no.
I'm feeling LI.
Yeah, that could work fantastically, actually.
Is that?
That's already LI is already full.
Okay. Like
I do like an L there. It could be like L. I don't see L.
You just put a coda on the end.
Ooh, how did I get? I remember finally figuring out how to get the long I. That might be
You just put an R, right?
It's like LAS, maybe.
Oh, sorry. You mean long I?
Correct. I don't know if it's going to be good here, but like I wanted to reiterate that just because like I wanted to think about it. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your cockatiel, and I understand about the being low on spoons sometimes. So I'm sending virtual hugs your way, but I'm sure also Texas is rather hot.
Was it LA? No. How did you say it was?
With Ez, I believe.
And then what?
Oh, Nikes.
It may just be that you can't get it in a monosyllable, which would be very funny.
That would be hilarious. Because I remember it was something about the...
Here's one example. So it could be line.
That's what it was, because it palatalizes before a palatal consonant. So we actually only get it before a palatal consonant, or in this case, a previously palatal consonant. Okay, then I'm less inclined for that. Although laws is not bad.
Which one's not bad?
Just LAS as laws. Unless you don't want a final.
I like the LI.
Okay, let's do LI something then. Where that come out as?
I don't want lane.
Lane, no. That might come out
that's
as
still lane.
Lane. Most ling. Is that what you said?
I said leam.
Leam. Okay. Leam or ling. Ling feels too like ling lang. Let's do leam.
Okay.
Also,
we don't have. What did you say?
For basket, and Juno is playing Vampire the Masquerade, and I'm extremely jealous, and you better have so much fun. I also heard that the next iteration, I think it's a video game, but also I know it more as a TTRPG, but I think it's going to be in Montreal. I think it's very sweet.
Oh, Poe.
Yes, Poe. Poe is Lee. It's our long, thin classifier.
I swear you were saying
one
that you were saying pull.
No.
Like, oh, the
Montreal
verb.
Night source book is intense. No, don't sign. Well, sign me up for a good time, I guess. But
does that mean that it's not? I guess if we're not doing like a basket with the place, then there's no overlap issue.
I also just noticed something as you were scrolling down, so I'm going to just make an amendment to that. Oh, never mind. You that actually is correct. Never mind, Mr. Krabs. I have an idea.
Okay. So for this, we have
plot.
Gangis, Zangis, Hangis. The Hangis Hongis is still really funny to me.
I also love Hongis, Hongis, Tingies, Lingies. gives Dr. Seuss in a really cute way. Or like Hocus Pocus.
I was really thinking about just losing the nasals, but then it would just make some it would make some more interesting diphthongs and stuff.
It would.
But then it would be what? Kais, Zeiss, Heis, Heus, Tis, Lies. I don't even know what this would do.
I don't. Toying, that might just like the U might just collapse out of it.
Toys.
Yeah, toys. I mean, that's
is not reducing. I mean, or if it did, I don't think it would all just drop out anyway. I feel like HHTL. Okay, so no L, no T's.
P. No. We do it. We do. Okay, yeah. Hold on.
Oh.
Something labial, ironically enough, is what I'm. Oh. You know what?
Putu.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
It's really close to like
so long.
Putongis.
Putongis. But I mean, is it not the closest we can get to puto?
It is the closest we can get to puto.
Okay.
I was trying to remember who I was telling about the poot meme. It may have been Will, but then I'm not as sure now that I. Oh no, it was Edgar. It was artificial.
Oh yes.
And poot came up, and I was like, the poot meme.
I also loved how she. Oh, two things. I love how she embraced it for Halloween that one year. I don't know if it was last year or something like this. But I also noticed that Ariana Grande invited some of her Victoria's co-stars to a little show. I thought that was really cute that she's going back to her roots.
It could just be Pooh.
It could just be Pooh. I don't think we have that yet.
I will never forget when I suggested the form Pooh, and I had not considered that anyone who speaks English would think it sounds like poo, because the vowels are obviously different. But then I forgot, and so I was like, yes, poo.
Yes. Sometimes in our lives, we're going to get syllables that sound like other things. But we as conlangers have a responsibility to be sure that they sound very phonetically and not like slurs. So this is 2 checks in that book.
Great.
Pungis.
It's just going to be Puva, isn't it?
Yeah. Pooh is all good, honestly, but I would say Pooh is number 2.
What if we put a glottal stop at the end?
Pooh.
It's gonna make it poopa. That's even worse.
No. Poopa is great. That's a little. That's a post larva. It's a poopa. I think.
And now I'm like,
but
what if it was oop?
Oop.
Do we keep Upfa. No,
Yeah.
it would be uppa because the P would be before the consonant, so it would glottalize.
You're right. But I'm like, oh no, lost cockatiel, sick dogs. My goodness.
Yeah, uppa. I'm good with uppa.
With an H. Hoopa. Hoope.
Uppa. This would. Let me double check this one. This one is just nis, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it would just be ungis. Which nothing wrong with that. Why is this telling me? Oh, because it's if, isn't it? And then
It is
it was trying to tell me that it was a
yeah. Invalid
it tried
syllable.
to no, it was going to a retroflex, and I was like, not today.
No. Excuse me. What is going on in this here? We got ungis and upe.
Which I think is a good additions to the set.
I agree. Okay, so we have our classifiers. Now we need our verbs. I don't know if we have. I feel like there's so many languages sometimes swirling in my head. I don't know if we made. I feel like there's a word for to buy, but I might be misremembering.
I'm sure we talked somewhere about buying permanent.
I remember. I think sell. Because I do remember talking about it.
The thing is, if it doesn't come up when you look for buy, how likely is it that we've actually got?
We have a word for to sell.
We were giving people persimmons. We weren't taking part in capitalism. That is what happened.
Correct. No, wait, no, we were. They were sold. It's in the other tab. I think. Yeah, it's in this one. Sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hanya.
Yes, to sell.
This is why. Oh, why was it
there? Oh. Go past us?
No, we have sell. We were looking for buy.
Yeah, I know.
No, I know that that's the thing that we were both thinking of. It doesn't help us.
So we have none of the forms that we need.
Yeah.
We need to move on. Okay, great.
It's like I'm glad we're not completely losing it. But
I mean, like I've lost some I lost something. Gosh, why SpongeBob keep like coming back to my life? Oh, there is a French song that I've been listening to that I just realized the lyrics of, because to me it sounded like SpongeBob, but it's the final word of the sentence is sponge, and then the second is, or like next sentence goes j'espère pour, and like in like very like quick semblance, it sounds like he's saying SpongeBob, and I know it wasn't, but it was just very peculiar. Cute.
Lean.
It is
lean. So, if by begins with a velar consonant, then we'll get the assimilation here, and we'd get an adjective form of it here.
Will we assimilate the M?
If it's velar, because they're both peripheral,
Thank
and
you.
this is a peripheral nasal.
Thank you. I forgot. I forgot how it worked. But yes, I understand. So, K.
Now I feel like I always go for cat. I love a cat.
Kitty cat, cat.
And then it could also be cat. Could also be, let me get my IPA keyboard. The do it for ha.
Ha. I was leaning towards the Q vibe, but I think I tend to
I feel like we have loads of Q roots.
We have loads of words. We do. That's what I was going to say.
How many K roots have we got?
It's definitely the majority of roots. We have. Oh, well, that's Q, I guess. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
We have loads.
Yeah, actually, H is the larger of the bunch, but I mean, K is the second. So yeah, maybe we do something like at least like central or coronal rather. What about like chop?
It's how do we get there? Oh no, it's proto. There's a proto one.
Mm-hmm.
So Limcha versus
Ucha. Probably Ucha. Yeah.
So Ucha. That would be Limza versus Ucha. Sorry, Ucha. Ucha.
Ucha.
No, Ucha. Limja.
Yeah.
Ucha. Ucha.
Okay. I'm very content with these. Especially
I know we're probably not, but you could get the linga uka. Which does make me think of lingams, which
I thought the very same thing.
Mm-hmm. So maybe
I mean that definitely would be from a foreign trader.
Not if you're Indian.
Well, yeah, I know, but they're not Indian. In fact, this world does not have any Indias, unfortunately.
It's true.
There's only one.
But what if Sil Sylvester told someone in this world that they were Indian? Would they then be Indian? Because Sil Sylvester knows who they are.
That is true. Oh, God.
Have you seen any of the videos about he was a Norwegian guy who got left in Mumbai by his mum and grew up on the street?
Yes, I have seen that. That's wild. I don't know how that happens to anybody. That was insane. That stunned me. That's crazy. Okay. I mean like linga
This gets it doesn't. I like the ing versus ka, but I don't know actually how worth it is.
Yeah, see how that goes.
Let's change the vowel. Limi is very cute.
Limi is cute, but Ui is ass. I'm sorry. I don't like that for this. Yeah, let's go. Limi.
Limi umi.
That's it. Limi umi.
Okay.
That's yeah.
So me is by.
Me is by.
Me is by.
Zendaya is Michi. Me is by.
And to all the bi people out there, happy Pride.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
It's our first me word. Okay.
Were you ever a Rick and Morty person? Did you ever watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
You remember the Mr.
Son.
Meeseeks?
Yeah.
Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, man.
I don't know. I feel like it was overly hated, but I also feel like the people who loved it too much. It was never.
Yeah.
I think I kind of. Wasn't the original creator ended up being really terrible, and then they got rid of him.
Yeah, they're the whole like reshuffling of the production team with that. And it never was the same afterward, of course. But it had its moments. I just was like, me, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me now. But yes. I feel like I'm gonna get copy struck.
This is also a Lim Oop thing, so we have to find another cool Lim Oop pair.
Yes, and I think we should have a coda.
Lim. How do we feel about Da?
I feel very fine about Da. Tosh, Lim Dash, Lim Dash, Lim Die, Lim. Lim Da.
Lim Dash Utash.
Lim Da.
Lim Da. No, not that.
With the F voice word finally.
Don't want it to end in F. F is a horrible consonant for horrible people.
Ironically enough, it's starting to warm up to me. No. I mean, we're going to have that enough. We have to get used to that. Dial is going to be aisle is going to be a very common sequence. Yeah. I even was going to say have this be the where the velar nasal comes in. Lim dang and utang.
I don't think that.
Nice.
I don't know. It does feel kind of long.
Yeah. No, I'm not wrong with that either. Yeah.
I guess anything with a coda is gonna feel
long-ish. Well, okay. Yeah. This could be an idea, and you can totally shoot this down. But if never mind. I'm gonna say potentially that if we are to keep the nasal in there, it might induce a nasal mutation, but I don't want to start talking about that quite yet.
Litmat upat. I'm less into that than I thought I was.
Yeah. Lima ua.
No, it's the and I know that we put this in, but the glottal stop there really feels weird to me for whatever reason.
Yeah. I mean, like, it does feel like it's going to go to an F, but maybe that's my English brain doing Englishy things. But like, I understand what's happening phonologically. It just in that position, it seems interesting. Limvat upat.
I think without the coda, I could do limva upa.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Limva. Let's see. I'm just curious. I don't think it's a licit form.
What form?
Okay, limva is not a word in a natural language according to Wiktionary. I just didn't know if it sounded Finnish or not. I don't think that like the MV.
Wouldn't it have to be with the dots, like limva?
Yeah, it would actually. But like this MV anyway, we can have that's not even a thing we have to worry about too. Also, are you looking at the document?
I'm looking at the Lexagy still.
Okay.
If you wanted it to be limba, and it would still be upa.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Would you rather limba than limva?
I honestly have no preference, to be honest, other than if we do have a word that is pa, but I don't know if we do. We don't.
Ooh.
Okay. Oobla. Lindra. Upsha. That's
I'm
a cool
into upsha and less into lindra.
Yeah, that's a heftier blow.
What
if? Yeah, they're all going to do that sort of like fortition approximates. That was going to be the parallel version of it. Yeah.
Linda ubia.
Ubia.
Linda ubia is a fun one.
It is a fun one. I don't think we have a lot of like consonant Y clusters yet.
Well, no, because they more or less they occur very infrequently.
Yeah, so I like having at least like one that might occur a little more frequently.
Should we go with this then?
I think we should go with this. I want to be sure that there's not a. No.
Okay, and this was.
That would be yeah. We do not have a form for yeah, which is great.
I'm trying to remember what the verb is. It was to put, isn't it?
Yeah, to put or to place. I lost the plot too, no pun intended. No. Oh, shite. One is to take and one is to place. So they're different verbs.
Oh, okay. Do you prefer limja or ubia?
I prefer ubia a lot. I really like ubia.
Okay, so which is the one that makes ubia? It'd be plot take? Is it take?
Ubia would be plot take, yeah. I also need to re-download a IPA keyboard because the copying and pasting life is not going swell.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I accidentally left the tab and then I've come back and it saved everything, but it doesn't save my ability to undo. Is there a particular form of the version with the nasal that you liked? You didn't.
Well, you know what? This could be a place where we do the linga.
Or limbi?
Limbi. Yeah, limbi.
Well, wait. The other one is umi and.
Other one is limi and umi. No, okay, that's a fair point then. Yeah, no. I think
Lingu?
Lingu.
No. Well, we could get lingu.
We can get lingu.
Lingu is easy enough.
Lingu. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a word that's just ngu?
We don't have any ngu.
Yay! We don't have any ngu. That's wonderful. Yay, our little Englishy disposition from not wanting sometimes a velar nasal initial.
And what's ngu?
Ngu is. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed it up. So ngu is going to be to put to place, and ya is going to be to take. That's my bad.
That's fine. You can always fix things.
Indeed, it is not written in.
No, I've got ya is take in here.
Did you? Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
We have no and initial words.
No, we do have eng initial words. Or we do in the proto. We have rope, and we have this, and then we have.
Yes, and that was me just realizing now that they denasalized. So you can just disregard what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh no, it's kind of the same on sort of.
It's a level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like this is a fairly complete set of 4.
No, I think so as well. I have no issues with any of these, and I don't think we need to add a fifth.
Well, we can if something comes up where we're like, we really need to distinguish X from Y,
then
we could consider adding another one and just claim it's rare or something.
Yeah, it's a fossilized doodle.
Oh, I wasn't sharing the right screen. Were people telling me I wasn't sharing the right screen? No.
I was trying to elucidate that.
Mm-hmm. This also probably isn't how we want to present it forever and ever, but anyway. For now, we have limi, umi, ubia, lingu.
Yay!
I feel like chosen family would be lingu.
I think you're right. I like that.
Like foraged family.
Okay. Yes, I write that down because that we need to make that a little thing.
So
and raised / grown by May one's own self could be like your I don't think natal family, but something like this.
Some nouns only take possessive modifiers to make more distinctions. We don't have a word for family, do we?
No. Wait. No. I want to be. I want to be sure that the classifier wasn't from family, but it's not.
Do you think this is more of a? Well, we know that our original classifiers act as phrase heads. So I guess we would assume that these would also be phrase heads, maybe. Is that fair?
That is fair.
So Ubia family would be natal family versus lingual family. Beautiful.
Wonderful.
And with 5 minutes left, let's talk about the poll.
Yay, officially. Okay. So, I will, yes, okay.
So I'm on the extrovert one. I'm wondering if I scroll really hard, it's gonna, no, because then if I scroll further, it will show us the results of the bottom one first. So let's just go with this.
Yes.
And I'm gonna zoom in even more. Okay. So we've been struggling to come up with polls for things, which was why I decided to ask this now. And I asked Miles what the next season's going to be, and I think most of these I sort of put forward. I really worry sometimes that I put your ideas down too much, but
No.
also I think these are like good ideas for like a full season. I think you had a lot of good ideas of things to go back to.
Yes.
I just don't think that we would get like.
I think I more wanted to kind of like revert back and cycle back, and I think probably a little bit selfishly memory, but also like I do like the moving forward and kind of like the innovating aspect of things, I guess.
So there was one idea that I've been thinking about for a little while, which was basically how would you go about making a language that was much more different to English? And Mohawk isn't technically the most different on Grand Bank, but Grand Bank has a lot of languages that are partially described, and Mohawk is the most fully described language with the most points of difference. And
that's good to know.
I feel like we would have like a fun time. I think trying to do it diachronically would end up throwing some things in the air.
That would be, yeah, it would be wild.
I think there's also the aspect that I think Mohawk will often do it by lacking features present in English and having ones that are not. Whereas the easiest way to do it for Grand Bank is actually not to differ from English, but to just have more than English. So rather you would end up with like something reasonably kitchen sinky if you tried to do it optimally, right? Like we'd end up with like plant gender and all of that good stuff. Then speaking of being a bit selfish, I really want to make a language for the nuns, but I simply don't have good enough ideas to run off and do it by myself yet.
Yeah.
And so this would be like, it would mean that we stay in the area and could definitely like bring in loan words and things from the other languages in more of a like conscious effort to link things together. Bza, this would be like a return.
That would be as attorney.
And like I said in the description, it's very close to the Boku season, where we take a language family that we already have a language for, or we had like 5, and make something new. And then we have the Fishing Bat Bay Raiders. So I don't think everyone who, I mean, I don't know how many people will be watching after 11, but I have been wanting and trying to make a bat language with clicks for the longest amount of time. And I was never really properly happy with it. And I feel like when I do things on stream, there's a certain amount of it where you sort of just have to accept things and move on. That makes it a lot easier for me to look at something and be like, oh, it's not exactly how I imagined. I don't think it's anything like I imagined it was going to be.
No, but like you're more like able to make that decision. I agree with you.
Like, I can make the decisions one at a time and let things go one at a time. Yes. Whereas otherwise it all sort of piles on, if that makes any sense.
Yes, and Tinglish, I do agree they were all good options, and it was hard. Like, I generally just wanted to see what you all put forth, because like I could do any of these, and I think it would be super enjoyable.
And so I'm going to reveal, this is the patrons.
Extra votes, yes.
The extra votes. But it's very clear that with 4 more votes than anti-English, and here was 2 more, and there are some patrons who didn't vote in this one. So if you tot everything up properly, the Fishing Bat Bay Raiders are the winners by a mile.
That is, I'm very excited about this.
And it means that, like, if anyone knows how gestu sounds, they're going to be learning words from gestu, I imagine, because they captured them. And so there'll be some amount of, my head canon is basically that, like, the gestu people, after they achieved freedom, made a kind of like we've seen in like other nationalist movements, they've like removed the foreign influence from their version of the language. Once we have the words, I will probably make a dialect that didn't undergo that process and thus has like more influence. Certainly something a lot less head final, because it really wouldn't make sense to consider Gestul to have had any real influence from a very strongly Hellenish language. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I feel like we haven't made any society that we would consider morally reproachable yet.
I think this is the closest we're going to get.
This is the closest we're going to get.
Yeah, for sure. That's what also is like, I'm like, oh God, we're going to have to touch a little bit on like servitude.
Yeah, I've been reading up on like piracy and slavery in a few different marine. Well, is there land piracy?
It may be called something different, but like I think the action is the same.
Well, then you get bandits. Is it banditry?
Is
that a word?
I'm trying to think, like there's like an old like English kind of like D&D word for it. I'm trying to like rogue, maybe not a rogue, but like with a not like troubadour, but that's not correct. Highwayman. Ooh, I like that. Oh, and banditry is a valid word for that term.
There's another word which is brigandage.
Brigandage of the brigadiers.
Well, no, it's by a brigand.
Oh, okay.
But it must be related to a brigadier. Also, marauding, I think, seems to be like possible either on land or sea. Anyway.
Okay, we have a modality neutral term.
Mm-hmm. Well, raiding can be by land or sea. I also.
One letter, two. Before we do leave, I also want to say that next week is not our usual scheduled programming. I'm not going to be here. I have to do some stuff for work, which is my last day. So that is that. And the week after, we'll have probably a whole new set on my end. So fingers crossed, things are going to look a little bit. Well, they will look differently, but things are going to be up and coming.
Fingers crossed, it look exactly the same.
Yay! No,
Yay!
I don't think we're going to keep this as a decoration. There'll be different decorations, and I know you can't see it, y'all, but we will have hardwood floors and not carpet.
We'll see how echoey you are.
So excited! Oh! Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks everyone for watching and for voting. Also, I'm excited. Is this also going to be the most Langtime adjacent? They aren't actually bats, but
they're not actually bats.
The same way that the Langtime animals don't retain all of their animal.
I feel like we've kind of not been on the precipice, but we done when they did Halgoff, we did Boku. So it was kind of our little a posteriori junket. Yeah.
You don't mean Halgoff, you mean
Lohakish. Sorry, I did mean that. You're correct. Sorry. But yeah, so it's gonna be a good time.
Okay.
Cool. Goodbye, all.
Goodbye, everyone.